Hello everyone, my name is Varsha and welcome to Programming Knowledge. So in today's tutorial, we are going to create test cases and we're going to execute them. But before that, let us understand what we did in the previous tutorial. So in the previous tutorial, we learned what are the web elements, what are the different types of web elements, and one of the most important concepts that we learned in the previous tutorial was the locators. Now the locators are the way to identify a web element on a web page, and we discussed the different types of locators like the ID, name, tag name, class name, the link text and the partial link text. And also we discussed about the CSS selector in the previous tutorial. So the ID, name and the class name are the attributes that is used in the HTML through which we can identify the web element. Whereas the link text and the tag name, these two are used. First of all, the link text is basically used to click a link on a particular web page. If we want to click on some link, we use the link text. Whereas the tag name is used to retrieve multiple elements on a web page. Like for example, I want to know the number of links present on the particular page. So I'm going to inspect the tag name, that is the anchor tag, that is the A tag, and I'm going to count how many A tags are present on that web page, through which I will retrieve multiple elements. So that is for that we are using tag name. Whereas the CSS selector, we use the tag in ID, we have the tag in class, we have tag in attribute, we have tag class and attribute. So these are the different types of CSS selector also we understood in the previous tutorial. So these were some of the concepts that we learned in the previous tutorial. Now in this tutorial, we are going to create test cases and we are going to execute it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a test case in which we are going to open the Chrome browser. I'm going to navigate to this URL, this page that you're seeing, right? I'm going to navigate to this URL. I'm going to enter the valid username and password and click on login button. Next, I'm going to verify the title of the page, that is the orange HRM, and I'm also going to verify the URL that is specified over here. See, the main intention behind this tutorial is that we are going to learn different types of commands in this. Also, we are going to learn how to verify an element. Like in manual testing, we use the expected result and the actual result, and the status column is present, right, in which you have to match the results and pass the status that it is failed or passed. So over here also we are going to verify some elements, like I am going to verify the title of the page, we are going to verify the URL of the page. So these are some of the elements that we are going to verify today. Before that, let us understand some of the commands that we used in the previous tutorial. Let's understand that. Let's revise that. The first command that we used was a form command, that is the send keys command. Here you can see the send keys command, which is used to send a particular text to the particular element, right? Then we use the click command, which is used to click an element. Then we use the get command, which is used to navigate to the URL. Next, we use the get text command, which is used to retrieve specific elements text. If you remember that we were counting the number of links in a page, right? So in that, I wanted to know the name of those links. So we use the get text command. Next, we learned about the size command. The size command is used to get the number of elements in the list. Now, if you remember, while counting the number of links, we use the size command to know how many links are present on the web page. Next, we use the driver.manage.window.maximize command, which is used to maximize the window. Next, we use the system.set property. As you know, it is the very first line in our program. So, which is used to set a value and a key. The key is like the WebDriver.chrome.driver, and the value is the path of your executable file. Okay, so these were the commands that we learned in the previous tutorial. So now here I have prepared some of the test cases. First is open the Chrome browser. We will navigate to the URL, enter the valid username, enter the valid password. Next, we will click on login button. Then we are going to verify the URL, and then we are going to verify the title, and then we'll close the browser. So these are some of the steps that we're going to perform today. So let's get started. Now open your IntelliJ IDEA IDE. I'm going to create a new class over here in my project. Okay, so now I have created a new class. I have named it as Selenium Tutorials 5. And I have opened my Chrome browser. These are the two commands that I've used, that is the system.set property. Next, I have used the WebDriver, driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Next, I have navigated to the URL This is the URL, and I have maximized the window. These are the commands that we have been learning in the previous tutorial also. So now what I want is, I want to enter valid username and valid password over here. So I'm going to simply click on this element and click on inspect. Here you can see there are different attributes used. So I'll use the ID attribute first. So I'm going to write driver dot find element by dot ID. I'm going to enter the value that is there. This is case sensitive, so enter the same value. And what I want to do is, I want to send some value to it, right? So I'm going to write send keys, and I'm going to enter the valid username. Here you can see the username and the password it's given. This is a demo website which is normally used for automation. So you can also use this and you can automate this website. So the username here uses admin. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it over here. So here I have entered a valid username. Now I'm going to enter the valid password. So for that I'm going to write driver again dot find element. I'm going to write by dot, I'll use name. So let's see, let's inspect that element. Here you can see this name attribute. I'm going to copy this, paste it over here. I'm going to send some information to it. The password is given over here, so I'll just simply copy this password and I'll paste it over here. So here we have entered the valid username and valid password. So I've entered the valid username and password. Next I have to click on login button. So I'm going to inspect this login button. I'll simply click on inspect, and here you can see we have the name, class, ID. So I'll use the ID. I'll use driver dot find element by dot ID. Now enter the value. And what I want to do is, I want to click this, right? So I'll right click. Okay. So now let's run this. My Chrome browser is launched successfully. It's navigated and it's maximized. Okay, there is some problem to it. Okay, here you can see I have given some space, so there is no space in password. Again, let's run this command. It's launched, it's navigated, and my admin and password. Okay, it's logged in successfully. Okay, so now what I want is that I want to verify the title of the page and I want to verify the URL that is present over here. Okay, so let's verify that. So first we will verify the URL. Let's verify the URL. Now for that we are going to use the get current URL. This is the command that we're going to use to verify the URL. Now this command returns the current URL of the web page. Okay, so let's see. What we're going to do is, we are going to write driver dot get current URL. Okay, and we're going to store this in a variable. We're going to store this in a string type variable. Let me write the actual URL. Okay, so we are storing in a string type variable. I have named that variable as actual URL, and I have written string actual URL is equal to driver dot get current URL. Okay, now let me print this. let's see the actual URL of this web page, and then we will verify it first. So let's run. My Chrome browser is launched. It's navigated, and the username and password is entered. It's logged in successfully, and here it is. This is my current URL that I'm getting. Okay, now I am on this page. I am on the dashboard page, so that is the reason why I'm getting this URL. The current URL retrieves the URL of the current page. Okay, you're on which page? On that page the URL will be retrieved. So here we have printed the URL. Now let's verify it. So now I have to verify it, right? How am I going to do that? Now I have already created a string variable, that is the actual URL, in which I have got the current URL of the web page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable of the string type in which I will store the desired URL, and I'm going to match both these URL. Okay, so this is what we're going to do it. So first we will create a string type variable, and I'm going to write it as desired _URL, and I will paste this URL that I am getting. Okay, next I'm going to match this actual URL and desired URL. For that I'll be using the if command. Simply I'll write the actual URL dot equals the desired URL. Now if they are equal, what I'm going to print is I'm going to print pass, and if they are not, then I'm going to print fail. Okay, so let's see. Let's run this command. My Chrome browser is launched. It's navigated. Okay, I've entered the valid username and password, and it's successfully logged in. And here it is. I have got the actual URL is also retrieved by the get current URL command, and also the actual URL and the desired URL both are matching, so the output is pass. Now what if I change this URL? If I write current.com. So now let's run this command. Now you see the output will be fail. It's launched, it's navigated, the browser is maximized, valid username and password is entered, and here it is on the dashboard page. Now let's see. Here you can see the output, it's fail. Why it's fail? Because I have changed the desired URL. The desired URL that I want is the open source demo orange hrmlive.com, and the actual URL that I'm getting is this. Okay, so that is the reason why it's failed. So this is how you can verify the URL of a web page. Next, let's verify the title of the page. Okay. Similarly, if we're going to verify the title of the page the same way, for that the command that we will use is the get title command. Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to simply write string actual title, that will be driver dot get title. Okay. Next, let's print this title. I'm going to write actual title, and let's see. My Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, valid username password is entered, it's logged in. Okay, so this is the title that I got. The first one is the I got the current URL, Then the test case that I have verified is failed, because I have written the desired URL that I want is this, and the actual URL that I'm getting is this. The next one is that I'm printing the title of the page, that is the orange HRM. Now how do we get the title? Simply just inspect this page, and here in the head tag you can see the title. Here you can see it's orange HRM. So this is the title of the page. Okay, so this is the desired title that you want. Okay, so what you're going to do is, similarly we're going to write string desired title that we want is the orange HRM. This title that we want is, we want to match this. So we're going to simply place it over here. Now we will verify it. We will verify with the if command. I'm going to write if the actual title dot equals, then we are going to write the desired title, and here we are going to write if my test case is passed, then I'll write pass, and if it's not matching, then I'm going to write fail. Okay, so now let's run. Okay, now I've launched, it's logged, and we have logged in successfully. Okay, let's see. Now here we can see the current URL. My test case is passed. Next, I can see the title of the page, that is the orange HRM, and the desired title and the title that I'm getting, the actual title, they both are matching, so the test case is passed. What if I change this desired title? And now let's see. Okay, my Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, and okay. And here you can see it's failed. Okay, so we have verified our title, we have verified our URL. The next command that we're going to use is the driver dot close. So this command is used to close the browser. So let's run this again. We have opened the Chrome browser, it's launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, and login successfully, and here it says it's passed. The current URL is retrieved, the test cases of verifying the URL is passed. Next, the actual title of the web page is retrieved, and the test cases fail because I have written only orange HR. So let's change it and save it, and let's run it again. My Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, the valid username password is entered, and here it is. Okay, and it's closed also. So this is the current URL, the test case of verifying the URL is passed. This is the current title, and the test case for verifying the title is passed. So this is how you can verify the URL and the title. These are the different commands, and the different commands that we learned today is, one is the get current URL, then we learned the get title also, and we learned how to verify the commands. Okay. So this is what we learned today. We executed this test case, we opened the Chrome browser, we navigated to the URL, we entered the valid username, the valid password, we clicked on login, we verified the URL, we verified the title of the web page. Next, we closed the browser. So we executed these test cases. By executing these test cases, we learned how to verify the title, we learned how to verify the URL. Also, we learned different commands. We learned like the get title command and the get current URL command. Okay, so there is also one more command that I want to explain you, is the get page source command, which is usually used to get the page source, that is the source code of the page that we are on. So these are some of the get commands that I am explaining you. These are frequently used by the automation testers. So we're going to write the driver dot get page source, and we're going to store this in an element. Sorry, we're going to store this in a string type variable. I'm going to write the page source, that is PS, and we're going to simply print it. Okay, so let's run this. So my Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, and okay, so here you can see that my source code, that is the page source code, is visible over here. This is the source code that I've got. Okay, so this is also one of the command which is used, that is the get page source. This is used to get the source code of the page that we are navigated to. So in this tutorial, we learned the three commands, that is the get page source, we learned the get title, and we learned the get current URL. Okay, so in the get source, we learned that we through get page source we can get the page source, we can get the source code of the page. Next, we learned through get title command, we learned how to get the title of the web page. Next, we learned the get current URL, which is used to get the current URL of the page. So these were the three get commands that we learned in the today's tutorial. So in the next tutorial, we are going to learn about the XPath. We are going to use the Chrome plugin, the ChromePath plugin for the Chrome browser, and through that ChromePath plugin, we are going to retrieve our XPath. So we're going to study what are the different types of XPath also. So until then, stay tuned and thank you. Please like, share and subscribe this video.